Hello, my dear ones, and welcome to online classes. In my last class, you learned a poem that is Animals. I hope you have understood that poem. Today, let me begin a new theme. Before I reveal whether it's prose or poetry, let me give introduction to it. Let me speak some relevant things about it. My dear ones, you all are in 10th standard. To some label, physically and mentally, you're grown up. You're grown ups, aren't you? When you were in primary, just recall when you were younger than what you are, I mean, when you were 6, 7, 10 years old of age, I mean, of 10 years of age, or when you were 10 years old or 6, 7 years old, what all games you recall? Those memories are beautiful ones, my dear ones, the childhood memories. What all games you can recall, what all mischievous behaviors of yours you can recall there, what all activities you used to involve yourself into, what all, you can recall so many memories, I'm sure about it. And the friends you had and the neighbors and those incidents, those dog chasing when you jumped into others property, just trying to get what to say, some fruits like mango, or etc., guava and all. My dear ones, the reason I'm asking you to recall this is there you enjoyed the most. I'm sure you enjoyed the most. And there, when you recall, you get to learn so many things from those memories. You used to involve physically and mentally into those games, isn't it? And not just that, even the food, especially the vendors who used to come near your home, selling some of the snacks that attracted you the most. Nowadays, everything is online, even the food you can order online. But that enjoyment you might not, or you may not, enjoy here when you order online. Because when that vendor, that seller of snacks usually comes near your home on the weekends or once in a week or twice in a week, you used to wait for that vendor, for that seller to come. And sometimes you saved some of the money, pocket money, what we say, pocket money, to purchase, to buy from that fellow, that particular snack, which is your favorite. All these memories, make you feel so happy, I'm sure. My dear ones, and also let me speak about the colonial rule. I mean to say, in social you learn colonial rule, colonialism, right? When we speak of colonial rule, colonialism, we just recall British. We recall British because they ruled us for more than 200 years. That's why their impact is more upon us than the other colonial rulers. There are other colonial rulers like French, Dutch, and Portuguese. My dear ones, these Portuguese, Dutch, and French, these also have left their footprints in our nation. When I speak about our nation, again, it takes a lot of time for me to cover so many aspects. Tradition, the culture, the food habits, lifestyle, dressing sense, so many things, languages, the unity in diversity, you can find only in our nation, my dear ones. You see, so beautiful our nation is. Many say that they wish to travel the world, but I say if you just travel every corner of our country, every corner of India, that's like traveling the world, because so many varieties you'll find here, the languages, geographical differences, in all the sense, you'll experience vividity, you'll experience variety. I'm sure about it, and you all will agree with me, don't you? My dear ones, when you recall the colonial rules, they also have left their footprints, their culture, their lifestyle, and infrastructures. I mean, the buildings and so on. When you visit Pondicherry, Puducherry, in other words, that's complete. That's completely like Portuguese. You see, when you visit there, you don't feel that you are in India. You feel as if you are, abroad. You have visited some other country, because the streets, the buildings over there, the people, vehicles, the lifestyle of the people, the food habits is mostly influenced by Portuguese. Likewise, when you visit different places, you'll experience different things. My dear ones, the reason today I'm speaking about the childhood memories and the snacks, the vendor, the colonial rule, all of this, the beauty of India, the culture, the tradition, and so on, is because today we are going to learn a new prose. Let me share the screen with you all, my dear students. Here we go. Yes. The title of the lesson is Glimpses of India. What is the title of the lesson? Glimpses of India. And in that, there are 3 parts made. You all know, you all are familiar with this kind of, with these kind of chapters. In one, there are again 3 stories, but all are related to glimpses of India, that is titled the culture, or the one or the other aspect of India, relating to one or the other aspect of India. These 3 stories are given under this title, Glimpses of India. So first one we have here is a baker from Goa. And second story is Coorg. Coorg, you might have heard the place. Third one is tea from Assam. See, all the 3 places, Goa, Coorg, and Assam, are from very different, geographically are far from each other. But these all 3 have got some similarities. That is about the beauty of India, they speak. Today, let's try to understand the first story, that is A Baker from Goa, written by Lucio Rodriguez. Lucio Rodriguez has written this story, A Baker from Goa. And Lucio is a Portuguese writer. That's why his experience he has written here. You can say this is a pen portrait of a traditional Goan village baker who still has an important place in his society. This pen portrait, what is the meaning of this? My dear students, meaning of this word is very favorite story of a traditional Goan village. In this story, a traditional Goan villages and their lifestyle and the importance that has got in the society is explained here, my dear students. Let's see, let's get into the lesson. Let's not delay anymore. Our elders are often heard reminiscing nostalgically about those good old Portuguese days. The Portuguese and their famous loaves of bread. Those eaters of loaves might have vanished, but the makers are still there. We still have amongst us the mixers, the molders, and those who bake the loaves. Those age-old, time-tested furnaces still exist. The fire in the furnaces has not yet been extinguished. My dear ones, in this paragraph, the old, age-old, the old times are recalled by the author. He is recalling the old Portuguese days. When Portuguese were ruling Goa, they had influenced their lifestyle upon Indians. They influenced so much that even the food habits of Goa changed completely into Portuguese food habits. Here he mentions about it. You know, when the elders when the elders got time, they used to sit back and recall the old Portuguese days when they were young, when they were children. The Portuguese style lifestyle was still there. So they here the old Portuguese days are recalled. The Portuguese and their famous loaves of bread. My dear ones, here the loaves of bread means a kind of shape of bread which is not sliced, which is not sliced. In local language, we call it 1 pound bread and theory. A pound bread, but slice madrangilla, cut madrangilla. Athra 1 pound, pura 1 pound bread and then karitevalla, sannadu. Adak loaf of bread and karitide, Portuguese style. Other bread, Portuguese are known for bakeries or bakery items. They are the ones who bought bakery items to India. You know, they are the ones who taught us how to make it. So they are known for baking breads. Here, those loaves of bread the author is speaking about. And though the eaters of these loaves might have vanished, but the makers are still there. Amongst the present generation, there are mixers, the molders, and those who bake loaves. Means in bakery, there used to be people, workers. One was meant to mix the dough, and the other was meant to mold it. Likewise, there were people, there were workers in the bakery. Those people are still there in the present generation. Those age-old, time-tested furnaces still exist. Those old, age-old and time-tested means it's been quite a long time, but still they are there. Who are there? What are there? Furnaces. Furnaces in local language, chimneys, those long pipe kind of from which the burnt gases are released, that smoke is released. That furnaces, those furnaces still exist. The fire in the furnaces has not yet been extinguished. Still the fire is on, which means still the work is going on in the furnace. Because in the bakery, in the old bakeries, those old style bakeries, the breads and the cakes were baked in that furnace, that batti ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ ಕನ್ನಡದಾಗ, ಬಟ್ಟಿ ಅಂತ, ಬೇಕರಿ and ಬಟ್ಟಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ. ಆ ತರ ಅದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ಬೇಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು. ಅಂಥವು ಇನ್ನೂ ಚಾಲ್ತಿ ಒಳಗದಾವು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. The thud and the jingle of the traditional baker's bamboo heralding his arrival in the morning can still be heard in some places. Maybe the father is not alive, but the son still carries on the family profession. These bakers are even today known as padar in Goa. My dear ones, here the author recalls how the vendor of these breads is to visit every street. He is to come with a jingle of traditional baker's bamboo, which means in simple words, he used to carry a bamboo and a basket of these loaves, that is bread. And to that bamboo, there is still some jingles, some the metal made out of metal, round shaped, which made some sound, in local language. Again, if I have to say, Gilganji antevalla, ಆ sound ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಹಿಂಗ ಶೇಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರ ಆ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಬರೋ ಒಂದು ಬ್ಯಾಂಬೂಗ ಅದನ್ನ ಕಟ್ಟಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಆವಾಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ರಿ. ಈಗೂ ಬೊಂಬೆ ಮಿಠಾಯಿ ಅಂತ ಏನಂತೇವಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಬೊಂಬೆ ಮಿಠಾಯಿದವ್ರು ಹಂಗ ಬರ್ತಾರ, ಅದ ಆವಾಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತ. ಆ ರೀತಿ ಈ ಬ್ರೆಡ್ ಮಾರವ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದ. A traditional baker's bamboo he used to carry, and heralding his arrival in the morning, which means announcing his arrival. Why he used to make that sound with the bamboo? Because he used to make the residents, the people in that area, to know that he has come. He used to announce his arrival. He used to announce his arrival through that sound. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಿತ್ತು, ಬಂದಾನ ಮಾರವ ಬ್ರೆಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಿದ್ರು ಮಕ್ಕಳೆಲ್ಲರೂ. Can still be heard in some places. In some places, still the same tradition of selling bread is carried on. Maybe the father is not alive, but his son has carried on the family profession. The bakers are even today known as padder in Goa. It's a local word for the vendors of bread in Goa. During our childhood in Goa, the bakers used to be our friend, companion, and guide. He used to be he used to come at least twice a day. Once when he set out in the morning on his selling round, and then again when he returned after emptying his huge basket. Again, the author is recalling childhood memories. He says there, in his childhood, the baker used to be not just a friend but a companion and a guide also. So close the baker, the vendor used to be with the children, because children loved the vendor to that extent. And he used to come twice a day, at least twice a day. Once when he used to set out in the morning selling around in the Goa, in the city, and then in the evening while returning, after emptying his huge basket of breads. The jingle thud of his bamboo woke us up from sleep, and we ran to meet and greet him. Morning, when the children used to hear this sound of jingle, and that thud means that slight, that mild sound. When they used to hear, they used to run from their beds straight away to the vendor to greet him, to meet him and greet him, to say good morning. Why was it so? Was it for the love of loaf? Not at all. The author says, why children ran so quickly straight away from their beds? Was it because they loved loaf, they loved bread? Not at all. The loaves were bought by some Paskin or Bastine, the maid servant of the house. Paskin or Bastine might be the names of this maid servant in the house. They used to buy loaves from the vendor. Then why children ran so quickly straight away from their beds? What we longed for were those bread bangles which we chose carefully. What they waited for were bread bangles. Bread bangles means in the shape of bangles. He used to cut the breads. For those, the children waited, and the moment they heard this bamboo sound, the jingle sound, they used to straight away run from their beds to him, so that they could carefully select those bread bangles. Sometimes it was sweet bread of special make. Sometimes it was sweet bread made out of special ingredients. My dear ones, I hope you have understood till here, glimpses of India in that first part we are discussing, first story, a baker from Goa, written by Lucia Rodriguez. I hope you have understood this. Yes. If you have any kind of doubts, you can ask me. Thank you. I shall conclude here itself.